An island of strangers. You know when somebody's not happy with you, not when they complain to you that what is annoying them, but when they start ignoring you altogether. That's the stark reality that hit British Prime Minister the other day as his party got pounded in the local elections in England by the up-and-coming Reform Party, the new kids on the block. We said this in other podcasts.
Yeah.
So what could he do to try and win favour back from the population? Well, do things that he thinks will please them, but with speaking with forked tongue at the same time because he's a politician.
Mm.
So saying he negotiated a good trade deal with the US is not true. He closed the deal under the US's terms. He didn't have to do anything. The US said to him, that's what we're going to do. And he said, okay. Insinuating that he'll return the pensioners' winter fuel allowance as the UK is getting ready to hit summer, that will need to be seen to be believed. It's easy to say that we're going to give it
Yeah.
them back
Yeah.
within the month of May. And now his latest proclamation that he will reduce immigration. To the uninitiated, one would think that he meant the hordes of people floating across the English Channel in their small boats. But no, if you read the small print in the contract, he means legal immigration. You know, the skilled people that perhaps the country needs to keep afloat. And when he says immigration, he means citizenship. Reuters quoted Starmer as he said he wanted to put an end to Britain's experiment of open borders, which only means that open borders were intentional by the British government on both sides of the House, and that the drivel they were saying about how they would stem the flow of immigrants going to the UK was exactly that, drivel.
Yeah.
So the current plan is to make it harder for legal immigrants to reach British shores by making them have a better standard of English and waiting for 10 years before they can become a British citizen. Many candidates for formal immigration to the UK can already speak English. Perhaps not so much their family members, but they are normally a follow-on.
Yeah.
They're brought in later. Also, the extended wait to become a British citizen is not much of a deterrent as long as the immigrant in the UK is in the UK.
Mm.
They don't really mind.
No.
I've been here in Brazil over 30 years, and I don't think the idea of Brazilian citizenship has crossed my mind.
Mm.
Doesn't affect me in the slightest.
Same with me. Yeah.
So the immigrants, which normally have a job lined up, or have means to keep themselves, are being beaten back as they reach the front door of the UK. But the illegal immigrants are still being allowed to slip around the back and clog up the social system. That's the guys in the small boats. Although he's trying to sound like a reformed politician, he's actually making things worse by not looking for the individuals that the population are complaining about. The population aren't complaining about the legal immigrants. They're talking
Yeah.
about the illegal ones that are crossing the
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
But it's just grasping hold of the word immigrant. He thinks that that's enough, hoping that the electorate will be duped into thinking that it was on about the mariners braving the waves of the English Channel. And this on the heels of opening the door for 1.4 billion Indian people to come up and see me sometime.
Right.
There you are.
Right. Where to begin with all that? I mean, no, it's very focused, very direct, but yeah. Okay. Keir Starmer. I mean, yes, we all heard it. I am of this absolute opinion about Keir Starmer. Should I say Hester? Sorry, Keir Starmer, yeah. That he is of the opinion that us, the voters, are complete imbeciles.
Of course.
He is an elitist, can I use a polite word? Narcissistic idiot. to put it bluntly. Well, he's not an idiot overall, but yeah, he is. He either doesn't understand or he doesn't care. Take your pick, one of the above. Yeah.
He's kissing on the fringe of idiocy.
I mean, his job used to be to protect illegal immigrants. And that's where his passion does seem to be. He doesn't
There you go.
quite understand it. He is a he is not Britain first, whatever that means. I mean, he's labelled us all as extremists for even dare questioning the immigration policy. Yeah. Now, um, none of us are against immigration. Okay, we're sitting in Brazil. We're not against immigration. Yeah, I'm here. Like I said, I do follow my wife here. We moved at the same time. Yeah. I certainly don't speak fluent Portuguese. Not as, yeah, okay. But I contribute. Yeah. I don't claim any allowances at all. I have healthcare, free health, state healthcare, so I wouldn't die here. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I'm either sink or swim. I've got to survive. He, you go to the UK, you arrive on your rubber dinghy that was given to you. Okay, you've paid your money, and then you're given free accommodation, etc., healthcare, phone, etc. And he doesn't understand. This is what the voters are opposed to. Yeah. And okay, he had a very slim amount of people voted for him. Yeah. 30% or 60%, which brings it down to what is it, 22% or something overall. But yeah.
This is why I say what he did is he got hold of the word immigrant
Yeah.
and
And he's,
tried to use it and he's trying to dupe the people into
yeah.
thinking he's going to do the thing about small boats when he's doing the thing about the other people
Well,
who
he,
are going to the UK legitimately.
he's trying to go for the easy target, which is what he always does, because
Yeah.
he's a complete imbecile on that. Yeah. And I'm calling the British Prime Minister, who should be my representative, a complete imbecile. I mean it. I've had enough of him, just like it would appear most of the rest of the country have. I've not heard anyone praise him from anywhere, to be quite honest. Yeah. Have you heard any praise for Keir Starmer? I mean,
I think there was a guy, I think he's Pakistani, he used to buying clothes. I'm sure he got praised by him.
oh, him. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Mr. Ali.
Yeah. I know who you mean. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
He didn't float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His name was he just gave clothes, did Mr. Ali.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Not racist, is it?
No, it's true. No. It's stating fact. I mean, that's it. We're not allowed to state facts. No, he's operating. I mean, the UK is becoming, well, actually, it's the thing about the loss of free speech is turning on its head a bit. We all know that Keir Starmer, I still don't see him surviving the full term as a prime minister. It's worrying who would, okay, if you got rid of Keir Starmer as the Labour prime minister tomorrow, who the hell would you replace it with? And let's
I'll
be
be
honest.
rooting for Ed Miliband. Ed Miliband said
Really?
no, said absolutely nobody.
Yeah. Rainer, really band. I mean, I'm not suggesting there's not talent somewhere in the Labour Party, just not where it should be.
You could
Um,
you could put them all into a blender and turn the blender on. Please, somebody put them all in a blender and turn the blender on.
sorry, you're advocating violence there, even in
Oh,
humour. Yeah, yeah,
you're,
yeah. No, I'm not highlighting it. Yeah, it's a joke, people. If you can imagine, I can't imagine. Could we get a blender that big? Sorry. um, yeah. I remember that in the scene. Yeah, yeah. The film. Yeah. Yeah. It is a yeah, but like you said, you look on the other side of the floor. Okay, the traditional other party. Yeah, the other half, the uni party. I'm not saying Suella Braverman is bad, but she couldn't achieve anything when she was in the position. Yeah. They didn't do anything. I don't know why. Um, and I keep saying, if we go the third way, the Reform Party, if they won the election, so like there's an election called 6 weeks, 8 weeks away, Reform get in, yeah, it doesn't mean immigration would stop the next day because there's a whole layer of administration who are not working in our voters' interests, yeah. And how would okay? Imagine you're Nigel Farage. You've been given the keys to number 10, and you go there, you wave to the people at the front, promising change. You walk inside on the desk straight away. The next day, you're told by the civil service that basically we're not going to do as we're told. What do you do?
He's got to do with Donald Trump and sack them.
You can't even
Don
do that because,
oh,
yeah.
I'm sure you can.
Okay, they might say we'll go on strike.
Yeah.
Please, I'll bring the military in. Yeah. I don't care. I wouldn't care looking like a dictator for about 2 or 3 weeks. Wouldn't bother me. Yeah, it really wouldn't bother me. Or being accused of being a dictator. Yeah. Um, yeah, just go to Parliament, debate everything you're doing. Yeah. Tell Lindsay Hoyle that he either goes with it or he can resign and we'll replace you. Oh, sorry, did I say something controversial there? Speaker of the House. um, yeah, I'm sorry, I've had enough of it.
That's when he's not traveling around.
Yeah, um, I've had look, I've had absolutely enough of what I hear. Yeah, I'm not even living in the country, and I know people that are, and just about everyone I know has had enough. I mean, people talking about extreme civil unrest and all that. Not going to happen in the UK. We don't. I mean, we don't have the tools to do that. If you know what I'm saying here, yeah. Um, and yeah, the average British person will sort of bite their lip. It's going to get better tomorrow. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Not until you guys actually do that. I mean, it strikes me. I mean, people now saying, well, protesting doesn't do any good. Really? Yeah. The big demonstrations you had. Um, yeah, I mean, it's your right to do it. It's always been seen as establishment as a way to let off steam. Oh, we let them have their little steam. We let them have their
Yeah.
moment on thing, and we just ignore them. Yeah,
Mm.
which is the Keir Starmer way. And it's
Just put the police in there, control them,
yeah,
let them have their little 5 minutes
yeah,
of fame, if you like,
yeah,
and it'll all blow over.
yeah. Um, we've got to all start. I mean, as I said, we've got to start demanding another general election in the UK. Yeah, but again, whoever gets in next, and let's say a third party get in, yeah, a non-traditional party get in. And as I've just sort of said, the guy walks in, sits at his desk, and gets basically told not to do it. And now, do they have a strategy to deal with that in place already? What would be your first thing? You get on the phone call to the Ministry of Defence and saying, I may need some bodies ready to step up on the immigration front, on the customs immigration, also medical, yeah, and yeah, we may need some well, basically an organisation to take over this when people start striking and complaining and everything else. Yeah,
Don't forget that the UK has only got 105,000 troops, and they're being sourced out. That'll be from the podcast, but apparently they're going to be sourced out.
right. Okay. Well, the next layer would be, I mean, depends if the territorial army can do things. I mean, yeah.
Get the Boy Scouts in.
There aren't that many of them now, are there? You know?
They're always willing.
Yeah. Yeah. A bomber job. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, is it a mess? Yes. Is there an easy solution? Well, there is. Stop the boats. stop them in France, turn them around and send them back. I mean, I don't know how he. I mean, patrols along the coast. One arrives.
Well, look, the truth is that more legal immigration is happening than
Yeah,
illegal,
yeah,
right?
okay.
But it's the perception
Mm,
that it's the illegal ones that are creating all the stress, which they are, because the legal immigrants normally have a place to stay,
exactly.
normally have a job to go to,
Yeah.
normally, you know, whereas the legal ones don't, and so they reach up on the shores and they have to be put up in hotels, and it's just expense, 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 what
Well,
the government doesn't have.
well. I mean, the other side, it's the social issues that are being created, and I mean, the camera doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see citizen journalism, let's call it what it is now, citizen journalism recording um, situations that are occurring around where these illegal immigrants are arriving. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying all the illegal immigrants are bad, okay, but there does seem to be an element amongst them that are causing issues and worrying other people in the society. Yeah, indigenous population. Yeah, and yeah, that has to be addressed. That is part of the issue. It does strike me that Keir Starmer is ignoring, oblivious to it, or just doesn't care. I really don't know, and the people around him, and don't forget, he's not the only one. The media are complicit in a cover up as well. Yeah, they hate people like us. We're
Yeah.
taking
A,
over
co-
there.
a comment a commentator
Yeah.
on talk radio
Mm,
this morning,
mm. Yeah.
Oakshott,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember
Yeah.
what her face
Oakenshaw.
is,
Yeah. She was a politician. Yeah.
the blonde-haired lady.
Yeah. Yeah. She was
She
a.
said that when the illegal immigrants started coming across, she said around about 10 years ago,
Mm,
she said they'd come at night time and be
mm,
hiding,
mm,
and sort of trying to infiltrate into the UK without being seen.
mm.
She says, and yesterday she says it's changed so much that they're there giving the peace sign to
Yeah.
everybody. They're
Yeah.
dancing in front of the cameras,
Yeah.
as if to say, I've arrived.
Mm,
And she said that's how out of hand it's got.
yeah. I mean, yeah. We.
It's like they're on an excursion.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
But,
Um,
but the
and
UK the UK is becoming to be a bit like Butlins.
it doesn't have the class to be a Butlins. Um,
Oh well,
um, yeah. I mean, now, yeah, we've really reached a point. Now, I don't. It's like I say. Again, reform keep promising. Yeah, they've got man. They got the figure change, and it does worry me. What would happen if they did come in? Okay, I'm playing devil's advocate here. What would happen if they did come in? What would be the opposition to Nigel Farage and all the others? All the other, yeah, it obviously puts a cabinet together. Um, actually being able to do their task. I would suspect they're going to hit the same problem as well-meaning conservatives did. Yeah. Um, how do you beat that? Okay, Donald Trump could sack. Donald Trump had far more powers as a president of the US than the Prime Minister of the UK seems to have. Um, and we all know what happens if you try and actually go outside what the political elite want. You get caught eating the wrong piece of cake or something. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
just ask Maria Le Pen.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the guy in Romania and other places. Yeah. Um, I mean, this is it. The most powerful politician in the world at the moment is outside the political elite. So that's interesting what's happening there. The media are all attacking. Well, if the political elite take over, I'm going to say to the journalists, you are going to be one of the first people to suffer. Yeah. I studied my history at school. Yeah. We're talking about 60-year-old history that's repeating. Yeah, in a much bigger way now.